So we're here at the mandate protest. What would you like to share with people about the mandate?
I think people are tired of being told what to do. This is a free country. I had Biden on the TV the other day mocking freedom. We are free. We're free people, and we won't stand for this kind of tyranny. And it's time our voices are heard.
What else would you like to share about? I see a lot of these signs. Do you have anything to say about the signs I'm seeing here?
You know, it's nice to see a community come together and support a cause like this. All too often our voices are not heard, especially if you're either left-leaning or right-leaning. And it's nice to see people come together and finally, you know, protest the wrongs. What's wrong?
Can you elaborate on your sign here?
Well, this has to do with the forced vaccines that Governor Newsom put in of our school-age children 5 to 11, and now they're even talking about 12 to 17. And a guy from the CDC, I don't recall his name, said that you can't know the true effect of the vaccine until we start giving it out to children. My child is not a lab rat. It's not for you to experiment on. This isn't Nuremberg, and you're not Dr. Mengele, like the sign there says.
So if I recall my civil classes correctly, a mandate is mandated and it requires for funding, correct?
Correct.
That's the only constituents.
No.
If you follow it, you get money. So Newsom is following under that. And what is your opinion on that?
It's always follow the money. In any of these types of mandates that are going on with government, follow the money. You want to see where it goes? That's where you go. You follow the money. And this is the money. My child's not up for sale, nor are they lab rats.
And that was state funding. What do you got to say about all the benefit of all these pharmaceuticals that are providing the vaccines?
Follow the money. Yeah. You can't provide the disease and the cure. That's where the money is. So,
anything else you'd like to say?
Let's go, Brandon.
All right.
Jefferson.
Yeah, that's right.
Choice, I have the right to speak my mind, do what's right. I will not consent, I do not comply. This tyranny is all based on lies. The Nuremberg Code was made for you and me. We each have bodily sovereignty. Only a tyrant would steal our basic human rights. Joe, what makes you think that you can break this code? Go back to China, go back to Davos. We are not afraid of you, we're afraid to fight. You can keep your new world order, keep your great reset, keep your open borders, take them all way up north to the ice and snow. With your frozen hearts, you can live up there in your Bilderberg billionaire society lair. No one here is gonna miss you when you go. My body, my choice, I have the right to follow my heart. I will not comply. This tyranny is all based on lies. Big Pharma, they made a killing, I heard. It's up over 60 billion. Main Street got a steel boot on their throats. Nurses are quitting because they don't want to die, and I sure don't want to be paralyzed. We ain't gonna get on your sinking boats. They weaponize the media, not just the virus and the truth. That's what they're trying to hide from us. All it takes is a few in control at the top. Most people bow their heads to keep their jobs and career. Too many others are controlled by the fear. If we don't speak up, it's not gonna stop. Your body, your choice. Freedom is not free. lies. In the land of the free, we see through your lies.
I enjoyed these guys. So we're here at the mandate protest. Is there anything you'd like to say to us?
Yeah. I've never done anything like this before. Yeah, I'm here. I'm not a teacher. I'm not currently working in a hospital, but I'm here to support the folks that are losing their jobs because they don't want to be slaves. I think if you're not in charge of your own body, then essentially you're a slave. And you should have the ability to say no to medical mandates.
Do you have any opinion on the mandate now requiring younger children to take it?
Absolutely, absolutely. That test, the research that was done by Pfizer, so you let a pharmaceutical company do their own research, they turn in their stuff to the FDA and the CDC, and that study was only done for 2 months on 3,000 children here in the United States. And it was released for emergency use only, which tells me it's still experimental. Most vaccines go at least 5 years before they release them. And I think it's absolutely crazy to do this to our children, and especially to mandate it. People should have the choice, always have the choice. It's called medical freedom, it's called informed consent, and it's against the Nuremberg Code.
Any closing thought?
Yeah, keep resisting, keep resisting. This is not right. This is un-American. It's totally un-American.
Thank you for your time. So we're here at the mandate protest. You want to share your opinion?
Yeah, I'm against the mandates. People should have the freedom to choose. If you want the vaccine, go ahead and take it. Yeah, but too many people have died. There's been so much weirdness on so many different levels, from the false tests to thousands of doctors speaking out against this, and many of those doctors losing their careers, losing their livelihood, losing the ability to provide for themselves, losing their homes. So they wouldn't do this for no reason. And nurses also, I've talked to nurses, I've talked to doctors. The things that are happening are not being reported. The VAERS numbers right now, I think, is that we're at 17,000 deaths in this country. And also, if you talk to the doctors and nurses, very few people report on VAERS. Some people will say, oh, it's actually, they only report 1%, or some people will say it's up to 10%. But still, it's much less. Even if the VAERS numbers were accurate, when the swine flu vaccine came out, there were 50 deaths. And they pulled the vaccine. Right now, we've got 17,000 deaths, and we haven't stopped the vaccine, and now we want to give it to kids. It's insane. It's not federally FDA regulated. What's regulated, or what was passed through the FDA, approved by the FDA, excuse me, has not even been released yet. So basically, this is an experimental therapy. It's not even a vaccine. It doesn't contain any part of the virus in it. So yeah, I'm against it for many reasons.
Any closing thought?
I really appreciated an interview I saw recently with Dr. Simone Gold. She probably has a lot of different interviews, but I saw one in particular that was fantastic. And she tells her story that, she has been a doctor for a long time. And when this first started, this whole pandemic started, she prescribed ivermectin because it's been prescribed. She's been prescribing it for decades. It's used all over the world. It was like, I think it won an award. It was such a popular drug, well-used drug. And the only way they can push these mandates is to say there's no other alternative therapy. But this is shown to be effective, was shown to be effective. And so she prescribed ivermectin, and then she was told by the administrator of the hospital that she couldn't prescribe it. She said, why not? And the administrator of the hospital said, because the insurance companies don't want you to prescribe it. So that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with something that has nothing to do with health, and doesn't have to do with science. It has to do with people just following along and complying. And most people, there's very few people in the whole mix of the equation through society who are actually going to stand up for the truth. Most people are like, I know nurses and doctors, many of them said, we are never going to get the vaccination. No way are we going to get this vaccination. They can't make me get this vaccination. But then when it came down to them losing their job and not being able to provide for their families, they went and got it. They went and got the vaccination or the therapy, the gene therapy, because they had to provide for their families, some with tears in their eyes. So when people have to be coerced to do this thing, it's so strange on so many levels. If you want to do it, go ahead and do it. But to mandate it is ridiculous for everyone. We have freedom of choice. We should be able to choose. And especially for children, for God's sakes. Too many people have died. There have been too many adverse events. Definitely, this should not be mandated for children.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what? Because people need to get pumped up. We did that for smart meters. We had a rally and we had somebody say,